Ah,
Welcome everyone. Today's second interview. We have one more after that, like in 5 hours. 3. I'm bad at math at the moment. Currently, we're with team captain, team representative for Latvia. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Emīls. I'm the captain for Team Latvia. And yeah.
Nice and short. Did you participate last year?
Yeah, we did.
And what are the expectations for this year then in this case?
Hopefully the same. Like, I think we performed really well. We were in the middle in the end.
Yeah.
We had some great games. We won even Team UK, which was like a big accomplishment for us.
Yeah, they have a very stuck team. Later today is in the interview with the king of the castle himself, Dave Bamford. So
Yeah.
that would be also very interesting to hear how they approach the situation. So is the team different? Did you choose a different draft strategy for the players?
And for us, no. It's like we are small community, so I just wrote who wants to play, and this year we have two new players actually. One is Neris, who many of people already know. He's actually from Lithuania. He's the only non-Latvian in our team.
Great.
And the other one is Oleg, who is completely new to the game. He learned the game just for this team World Cup.
Great, that's great. So,
yeah,
expanding.
It's possible still to get new players and.
Yeah, we actually are very close meta, so I barely found 9 people. But this year we have team, so I'm very happy with that.
Yeah. Last year you didn't participate, at least this year.
Yeah, I mean, I did participate a lot in last year's World Cup, but not as a competitor. So, yeah. Then for this year, you introduced a ban list, and then we have a very aggressive restricted list. How does the team feel about it?
We actually really like this new restricted ban list. I think it makes the game a bit different, and I think it's balanced because like Sea of Blood and Kingdom of Shadows, they were all powerful. I think some team captains, I heard that they think that it restricts in deck building because you can build less. I think actually now you can build more because there's more variety. You don't need to test against Sea of Blood, so you can make different decks.
Yeah, and there are some of the very hard. I mean, last year Exposed Duplicity was in every third deck. Now it's nowhere to be seen. For example, just because yeah, how was the effect of the only one agenda per team? That's a different dynamic from last year.
We like it, well. Yeah. We like it. I think it's better. It's more decks, like more interesting games.
Not trick crossing teams.
Yeah, exactly. Decks.
Yeah. Then how did you? I assume you mentioned it's a small meta. Is it full of player loyalists?
Faction loyalists? We have some. Yeah, many of our players are loyal. Some of them don't care which faction. So first of all, like we sign the loyalists to their factions, and the rest just choose what they wanted to play from the left ones.
So then, how did you approach the agenda and combination? Were there agendas that you felt like if we must have those agendas in the somewhere?
Yeah, first of all, definitely Wars to Come, because like everyone knows that it's quite strong, and now when it's removed from the restricted, you can do more stuff with it, and that definitely went to the Martels. We tested it also for Nightwatch, but in the end, we think that it's one of the best Martel agendas.
It is the best. In our eyes, it's the best. Looking at what people build, people agree with us. So yeah, almost every War to Come is in the Martel faction currently.
Then also like Valerian Steel and Cocker, we thought it's quite powerful and interesting to play. So those were the ones that we also wanted to include.
Okay, great. Then we are not mentioning crossing. Or is no need to mention crossing?
Lannisters. I thought that it's one of the best Lannister decks, but now actually seeing the decks from the other teams, I really like this new Lannister Kraken. It's almost the same as Shadowfall, but it's more interesting. I really like that deck.
Yeah, there are a lot of different. We defaulted to Valerian Steel there just because we had no idea what to do with Lannister, for example. It was the last faction that we found a player for it, and then everything else was already taken from agendas. Even the Conclave was taken. Were there any concerns in the deck building, like do we have to prepare for a specific matchup to have a counter in the deck, or it was just because it's a 9-on-9, you don't need to have counter for everything in your deck?
You can't put counters for everything, and especially now that there are so many these agendas, decks will be many. You can't test against everything. So we try just to make good balanced decks. Like, Shadows is banned, so of course we tech against it less, which was a mistake maybe. There are quite few Shadow decks.
That is quite. I did not notice that many, although I went through all the decks one by one, and I'm still going through them for the interviews in more details. But I don't feel that we have two in our team, so that's probably more than most of them. But yeah.
Yeah, but as I said, this Lannister Kraken deck, that's I think one of my favorite decks I have seen. It was in Team Catalonia, and I think one more like Canada, maybe had it.
It's in Canada for sure. Catalonia interview is tomorrow, so we'll see tomorrow. No, it's on Monday, so we'll see on Monday what they have prepared. So then, how did you choose your Mystery Knight?
Two players wanted to play Stark. That's it. There wasn't any like big thought about it.
Okay, so it wasn't like Targaryen is strongest. Let's play double Targaryen.
We are more relaxed team. Like we have some competitive players in our team, and some as I said, that are completely new to the game. So we didn't want to make the best or to tech against everything. We wanted to make decks that we can enjoy. That was our main goal.
Seems like a lot of the teams went with that approach. Players have to feel comfortable.
But I think this event is for that, so we can enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I mean. Depends where you're based. I know some teams are very hard on the preps and looking at the Iron Throne all day. I see people testing matchups, playing a lot. So, yep. Any particular strategy when assigning the order of the factions? Were you concerned for something?
No, I just got a bit drunk, so I'm tipsy and put it random. There wasn't any thought about it.
Same strategy like Chris did.
Yeah, like he did the same.
Last moment, go home after a party, and then assign the decks. Okay, so now we will jump in the quick overview there in alphabetic order. So first is Baratheon. Why White Book in Baratheon precisely? We looked at it as well, White Book, but Baratheon was not one of the main choices there, considering Kuhor is so strong there.
Like Kuhor went to the Targaryen immediately.
Oh, okay.
That's quite a well-known deck, and it has accomplished won in many tournaments. So we knew that one will be keep as it is. So Baratheon, Baratheon actually was the last deck we made. And we were thinking like different agendas and different combinations, like Banner Dragon even we tested. But somehow ended on this White Book. It was like last minute call almost. I think it works the same as Tyrell White Book, and I think that's one of the more popular Tyrell decks now. So it's quite the same, and there are some few cards that makes it shine, like Lightbringer, Warhammer.
Oh, Warhammer,
Thank you.
definitely. All those King's Guards are very strong. So
Yeah, and like Baratheons have really strong kings, so it works well with them.
yeah, okay, then why not King in the North then? It definitely, or it's
Because
money.
lot of expensive characters, so we needed economy, and
Yeah.
so we needed to put Great Halls.
Okay. So the next is Greyjoy. Looks like everyone's playing Greyjoy Prince. That got me by surprise. I was expecting Crossing.
Our Greyjoy player, he also tested Conclave. He was like debating which one to play. In the end, he played this deck last year, so he made some improvements and
Added two
somehow
new
stick to
cards.
it. Sorry?
Added 2 cards to be 62. More options.
That one I don't know. Like that was his choice, and I think that Fleet Captain is one of the last additions. Actually, Nightmares. Those were
Okay.
those he added later.
Then what is the Prince Baywon?
Yeah, Prince Balon, of
Are
course.
there-
But like in other matchups, you can take also Victorian or depends. I like that about this deck that you can switch up.
Everyone
Because
could be
if it's
Prince.
like if opponent is attachment heavy, I think taking Victorian is a bit better.
Okay. No, I agree. Also maybe Burn. Victorian is pretty beefy.
Yeah, he's beefy. If you milk him, he doesn't care that much as Balon.
Yeah. Then next we have One Crossing. I mean, no surprise there.
Yeah, that's for our new player. He haven't played the game before this tournament. Almost like we had like many practice games for him, but we saw that Planic Crossing it's quite straightforward. Some non-healing characters, just attack, win power, and red key to help him cancel some nasty surprises.
Yeah, interesting that you mentioned it's a new player, but I see a jumper package there. That's not very new player friendly.
Deck I made, and still he needs to learn like all these opponent decks and all the cards. And I thought that it's a good strategy to have also something to jump in, because if you're a new player and your character gets killed, then it will be tough to recover. At least this way, even without economy or something, he can push some challenge through.
Mm-hmm. And then the other last question is why only one Hellon Pikes? It's usually two. I mean, like 90% of the time.
It was either Headstone Spikes or Winter Festival. Festival had +1 gold, and
Okay. Maybe more consistent.
Maybe should have put it 2 heads.
Yeah. Okay. Next, Martel. We mentioned Wars to Come. No surprise. Last year, Dave proved it very dominant. And again, 62 cards. I mean, you're killing the
That's
mathematician.
how my team make their decks. But this deck made Nereus, and he's quite good player, competitive, and he tested it a lot. And somehow with Dawn and all the draw, it doesn't like Dawn secret schemes. It doesn't feel that it has more cards. You still can always get all the answers you need.
I'm seeing there is some always Tales in the deck.
Yeah.
So how did that get there? Any particular?
Just to cancel everything. He can even cancel plots and all that. So it's Matters always need to have answers for opponent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The more answers you have, the better the deck will be, I think.
Oh, definitely true. Then your Mystery Knight, we saw it last night.
Yeah, somehow he made some huge mistakes yesterday.
Stellar performance.
But the deck itself, it's quite amazing. I think it's unique and different. And it can be really fast deck if you play it correctly.
Yeah, I noticed that, I mean, considering that Eddard Stark is not loyal, and that probably makes sense for the Brotherhood without banners. But why did you decide to focus on bronze and rolls instead of Tormund, for example, who has insight? He has insight, right?
Because again, the restricted card is Great Hall, and bronze actually is cheaper than Tormund.
True. That way, true. Statue of Beowulf. That's one of the more weird cards that we have.
But it works amazingly in this deck. So like against Baratheons or Neo decks, you still can stand them and push through challenges.
Okay, so yep. That's. I mean, I've looked at it for another reason, but it's one of the cards that I haven't paid even attention. So actually, that's great to be seeing so many of the one-off cards that we usually will never see in the World Cup now with the restricted list. Put so many new things to the front. So
Yeah,
next,
that's why I like actually this restricted.
yeah, next.
There are new decks, more chance for old cards that weren't played that much.
Now Night's Watch, not Summers, and that's how I'm going to refer to this type of deck, because like this is the second time that something is not Summers. Everything else has been Summers to this point. So why not Builders?
Builders is not fun for opponents, so we wanted to make the game so it's more enjoyable for both sides, and
So that's why you're playing Catapults.
that that's our Dietrich player. But still, it's better than Builders.
It's better than Builders. I agree. It's better than Builders.
And Valerian still, it's actually that's one of the more fun gems to play. Always like interesting to play with it or against it actually.
We see what's that Westwatch by the bridge standing locations.
Yeah, that's our Nightwatch player. He included it, and he actually likes it. It helps him quite a lot. Like even economy to stand or some to stand Castle Black.
Also, Sword Watch, I assume Sworn to the Watch helps for the trade spread a lot.
Sorry?
Because it needs all three.
Swan for to the watch, it's actually zero cost attachment, so it's for free, or you can do some tricks with it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it works. Yeah, it works together with Watch by the Bridge.
I like the double fresh recruits there. It was in most of the Starek. Was this inspired by the Starek lists that showed up?
Could be. Yeah, I can't say it for sure because our Nightwatch player, he always checks all the decks and then like tweaks them for his liking. So it could be. Yeah, it's from Starlight. And fresh recruits works amazing, and especially if it's just to get dupes. So
just to get
you don't care about resets.
Yep. Prince who came to land, who is the prince that you're looking always? John?
Oh, it definitely depends from the game. There was like last game he played, or maybe second to first game he played, I don't remember. He took John, but usually it's more or less I think it will be Yoren, but hard to say. It's definitely from the matchup. If you know that opponent can Valar, you can also play Master Aemon. Then like there are many targets for Prince.
Yeah, definitely is interesting inclusion in the. So now the other Stark, House Red Door. That's one of the more interesting decks. Maybe touch a little bit on it.
The player who made it, he's a unique deck builder. Like he always builds his decks himself. He doesn't even check. I think on Thrones DB other decks, he just takes his cards and puts something different. Like he didn't want to play regular crossing or filthy, so we didn't push him to like. So he made something that he wanted, and
Bear, I
More or less,
wanted.
the rest of the cards are the same regular stock.
I mean, no one is missing from the list.
Yeah,
So
it is missing, but he put in the Wolf in the Night. He liked that more.
renown. Okay. Yeah, but we haven't seen it all Bear Island, so very interesting and to make up for the economy. Again, restricted Miro
Yeah.
and Vyman makes sense, I assume.
Yeah, and that's the combo. If you can play it, you should play it. It's way too strong.
Yeah.
Actually, at one moment there was this restricted list for one day that Daniel made that Weiman and Joren were restricted both of those cards, and we actually preferred that list more because
No,
we think
Joren
that
was
Weiman and
banned.
Joren both are too overpowerful.
No, in the last update that he wanted to make, Joren and Bound were banned from the list, and Skagus was back on the list, was unbanned. If
Maybe yeah.
I think you're referring to that one.
Maybe yeah. The Red Keep was also restricted.
Well,
I think it was a bit better, but a lot of players started to complain. Unfortunately, it didn't go.
yeah, many people already started testing, already building decks. I have strong feelings about Joren and Bound as well, so as a Nightwatch loyalist. Now, next, Targaryen. You mentioned trading Queen Kuhor. Why trading Queen Kuhor in Targaryen?
Targaryen deck is
63
this
cards.
deck Nereus made actually, and he plays it in lots of tournaments. And if you check on Jousting Pavilion, he has amazing statistics with it. He won even the last Westeros League with this deck. So it was like 60 people tournament, and if you can win it, it shows that it works. He
Yeah,
has always liked
definitely.
this Tokar and all the attachment stuff for Targaryen. So
One of the interesting clips and switching stuff. Looking for some. Who is the Voltron in the deck, or it doesn't matter?
it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of this deck. You can take even like Friedman and make it Voltron.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
give it just all, and it has renown, and you can get it like it loads of power really fast.
Yeah, it's extremely fast deck. I agree. And then we have Terrell Banner Lion.
Yeah, that's the one I'm playing.
Okay.
And the choice was like I didn't want to play White Book. I thought that everyone will play, and it's White Book is really good and like fast deck, but I wanted to play more control, more like this attrition stuff.
And there is no a good control restricted card or what?
Um, actually, for Tyrells, there isn't a single card on the restricted list. So it's only neutral ones. And Grey Halls I don't need, Economy is there. The only card I was thinking to include was Return to Field.
Okay.
But I wanted to put political because I thought if there's no Sea of Blood, then everyone will go location crazy. And I chose to stick with political just so opponents can't get all their money and they get more controlled.
Okay, so I mean to counter all those builders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I tested this deck against builders and it does actually amazing.
There are way too many threats in the deck, like Mandan, Robert Strong just takes care of builders.
Yeah.
And something else. Yeah, the double white swords is, as you mentioned, everything here is Kingsguard, right? From the looking at the list, everything is Kingsguard, yes.
It's the deck sometimes can play similar to Kingsguard deck. You can just with Knight of Flowers you can stand. In Kingsguard decks and White Book decks you don't actually use him too much because all you put just big Kingsguards, put big kings, and you doesn't use his ability. So it can work also same way as White Book, just using Knight of Flower more.
Yeah, although we played the other Knight of Flower for a different reason in our White Book deck. For Terra, we put the Corset Knight of Flower because he's a ward and he can become a king and stand and save himself.
Yeah.
shenanigans. The Hanu approach. Yep, so that's I think covers the decks. Any last words, inspiration words for your teammates?
Oh, I'm really proud of how well we are doing. We are such a small community, small country, and we have like full team and can play against these big giants. So I think we are doing okay, and we are still quite competitive, and we have some good results. I'm really glad, and we are so happy for this tournament. Like Anil is doing amazing job.
Yeah, and the
We
exposure
appreciate
to
it a lot.
all those, as you said, small metas, distant metas like Australia, South Korea, Singapore, we rarely
Yeah,
see any
exactly.
of them.
We would never play against them. This way we
Yeah,
can talk to them, play with them, interact with them. So it's amazing. It puts everyone together.
yeah, and that's why we are doing everything, but to enjoy our time together. So, thank you for the interview. Thank you for those that joined.
Actually, one thing I want to mention, I think this should be somehow addressed that still there isn't single password. Like everyone puts different passwords, and I think there should be just one password. So it's easier to join the games. For now, there are 3 floating.
There are 3, 4. I mean, I usually guess it on the second time if I don't guess it the first time.
Yeah.
But
Same for me. It would be much easier to not to search the password, not to ask. Just type in and you can join.
Well, I have a little bit. We had first round problem with people manning the game and game lagging, which caused our player to get angry and rage quit, so cost us a game. Another game for Spain just completely crashed from 20 people inside it. So there are concerns for other strategies. I mean, passwords are not always good because currently we are overloading the platform. Definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know
everyone's
overloading,
sitting at home, so
and everyone's sitting at home. Yeah. But yeah, passwords is something that we struggle every last year, this year as well.
yeah.
If you ask me, I prefer to be just the player's streamer. Eventually, five
Of
ten
course,
minutes
it will be
delay,
amazing,
and
but
for
not
us to
all
see the
games are
cards.
streamed.
Yes, and for us to see the cards, there are ways around that as well. But nothing is. I mean, we are managing it without seeing the cards, so yeah. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, appreciate it. Then we'll talk. We'll see you in like hour and a half for UK Martel versus Singapore Martel game. And then after that, later we have UK interview and then some Bulgarian games. We're finishing our matchups with Israel today. So yeah.
Yeah,
See
thanks
you
for
later
doing this.
today.
And yeah. Sorry?
I was yeah. See you around. Stay healthy, guys.
Yeah,
And
cheers,
bye bye.
everyone.
Bye bye.